What's up, guys? This is the video you guys have been waiting for. It is the origin story, the story time. Make sure you guys got a comfortable seat. Make sure you guys don't have any plans because it might be a little long. Make sure you guys get comfortable. As you guys can see, I got my popcorn. Let's get this story time started. Okay, guys, so before this all started, I didn't have any heart failure. I didn't have any symptoms. I didn't feel anything. I was normal. One day, May 19th, 2019, I was playing basketball, or May 18th, sorry. I was playing basketball with my brothers-in-law. We was at the park. We were shooting around. I noticed that day I wasn't feeling like myself. I was feeling tired, out of breath. I was usually able to run full court games. I wasn't even able to do that. I was tired after running like twice. And I knew something was off. So I went home, showered. I noticed that when I breathed, there was a crackling sound in my throat as if I was snoring, but I was wide awake. And you couldn't hear it very loud, but if it was quiet, you can hear it. So I thought that maybe something was stuck in my throat. So I drank water, and I went to sleep. Well, 5 in the morning, May 19, 2019, something woke me up. I couldn't breathe. It felt like I was being choked, but not physically. It just felt like something heavy was sitting on my throat. I wake my fiance up. I tell her we have to go to the hospital. We got to go right now. And sorry, I actually did have something caught in my throat that time. And we get to the hospital, and this is where things got weird. And as soon as we got out the car, we was like pretty far away from the ER desk, okay? So we're walking. Every 10 steps, I'm out of breath. Every 10 steps, I feel like I'm finna collapse. Every 10 steps, I have to sit down. So it took us maybe 20 minutes to get to the ER desk from the car, okay? So we get there. The lady's asking me what's my name, what's wrong. I can't talk, so I'm having my fiance talk for me. And so they sit me down for a little bit, and they get me to the ER room. And I don't like hospitals. I hate hospitals. I fear hospitals. And that reason being is because every time I go to the hospital, every single time, and they have to put that IV into your arm, they could never get it right the first try. It take them at least 10 tries to get it. And constantly being poked in my arm like that is annoying. It hurts. But back to the story, they finally got it after like the 7th try. And mind you, I'm tired. It's 5 in the morning. I don't like hospitals. They finally get the IV in, and they do some tests. I'm throwing up orange juice at this point. So they do tests, and they come back and tell me, or they ask me, did you know something was wrong with your heart? No. But anyways, they tell me that they officially did the test, and I was diagnosed with CHF, also known as congestive heart failure. And it's like when the blood is not pumping enough from your heart isn't pumping enough blood. So at that time I was at like 30%, right? So just going through that is big news for me. I'm 22 at the time. I have a son who's due any day. He was born June 10th. I went to the hospital May 19th. So I didn't want my fiance to like stress out so much that she have the baby while I'm in the hospital with CHF, you know what I mean? So I stayed a couple days in the hospital, like 2-3 days. They sent me home on medication, 3 medications at that time. I was taking spironolactone, Lasix, and carvedilol. And the Lasix is to get all of the fluids out of your body. The spironolactone is a water pill, and carvedilol was like a blood pressure to lower your blood pressure medication. So I got sent home. My fiance was like, okay, he's gone through a lot. I want to take him on a trip for his 23rd birthday. So we celebrate with a cake. She told me we're going to Miami. So at that point, like, I'm taking my mind off of the stress, the fact that I have heart failure. I'm taking my mind off of that. We're in Miami. We're having a blast, going out to the beaches, enjoying it, a little getaway vacation for the family, so it's worth it. What do you guys think about my Avengers popcorn bucket? But we get back to Chicago, and maybe 3 weeks later, okay, my fiance's at work. Everybody's at work. The only people that are home is my fiance's mom, my fiance's auntie, me, and my son. That's 4 people. So we're in our room. Me and the baby is in our room. I'm taking care of him because I had to take a break from work. We're in our room. I take my medication as usual. I ate. When my son woke up, I was fine until my son woke up. When he woke up, I leaned over to pick him up, and I felt like a droopiness in my body. I started feeling super hot. So I'm like, okay, this isn't right. I know something is up. So I didn't want to drop my son, so I put him in his walker, right? When I put him in his walker, I'm sitting down on the bed, I'm sweating bullets. Imagine this is November 21st, so it's kind of cold. I didn't have on no shirt, no socks, I just had on shorts. That's it. And I started getting super hot for some reason, and the heater was on. So as I get up to turn off the heater, I noticed that my body started like wanting to start getting tired. So I laid down in front of our mini fridge. And I opened the fridge thinking that I'm going to stuff my head in here and it's cold, it's going to cool me down. It was a little bit too late for that. Next thing I know, my fiance's mom come downstairs. She was going to go to the store. Thank God that she came downstairs to play with the baby and check on the clothes from the washer before she left. Because I couldn't talk, I couldn't move, I couldn't do nothing. I was just left helpless. And she was playing with the baby. She's like, hi, just I am. And she's looking for me. She's like, Dentrell. And she see my feet. She see my body hanging out the fridge. And I like kind of like throw my hand into something so she can hear me. And she ran upstairs. They called the ambulance. Now this is where things get funny. Okay, so the ambulance come. They're coming to look for my medications. I'm pointing as much as I can. So they find my medications, you know, and they tell the people, like the hospital, you know, that I'm coming, medications I'm taking, right? And they tell me, okay, we're gonna get you up, but we need you to bear with us, okay? Don't move, or otherwise we're gonna drop you, okay? They must have had a newbie with them, because let me tell you what happened. They carried me up the stairs, right? Our room is in the basement, so they carried me up the stairs, right? I'm kind of heavy at this time. And the first thing I told them was, I'm sorry that I'm heavy, because I could hear them struggling, turning red. So this is why I had to apologize. Okay, and they was like, no, it's okay. So the newbie, he was in the front, while the you know, the OG probably been on the job for a while. He was in the back. So he's carrying me up, and that's like going up the stairs as not the ceiling, but the ceiling to the stairs kind of. And the newbie brings me up, and I'm leaning forward, and he kind of like pushes my head back. Boom! I hit my head on the top ceiling. That was the first strike, okay? They get me up the stairs finally. They turn to me. Boom! They hit my feet against the door. That's strike 2. Here is where strike 3 came in. Okay, they go through the backyard. So they go through the back door, they put the stretcher, and they put me on it, right? Once again, a newbie. He opens the gate halfway. I guess he thought I could fit. And he's pulling back. Boom! Hit my head against the fence. He hit my head and the stretcher against the fence. So at this point I'm like this. So we finally make it out. You know, mind you, I didn't have on no shirt. They didn't give me a shirt, no socks, no hoodie, no coat, no nothing. So we get in the ambulance. Of course, they tried to stick his arm a few times with try to get the IV in. On the way to the hospital. I've never been in an ambulance truck, so it was kind of weird. We get to the hospital. I see the same guy who treated me the first time. He was like, "You're back. What happened?" So I tell him. He's like, "Okay, you know, maybe it was the carvedilol, which was the blood pressure to lower it." He's like, "Your blood pressure was already low, so with that pill, it probably lowered it even more." So I'm not saying that that's what happened. That's what caused my heart rate to fail more, but it could be. So he comes back after a while. He tells me, "You're really a sick guy. You know, like you're only 23. You just made 23. You're a really sick guy." At this point, my heart was only pumping 10% of blood. 10% of blood. So I'm barely alive. You know, I'm going through so much. I can't think right now. You know, my fiance's crying, and I'm trying to keep a good attitude, but it's a lot. It's a lot to take on at one time. So, they tell me I'm gonna need this surgery called an LVAD. I'm 23. I don't know nothing about an LVAD or RVAD, a DVD, VCR, RCA, none of that. And so I'm like, okay, you know, whatever I gotta get to be here with my son and my fiance, bring it, you know, I got this. So they tell me I'm being in the hospital, definitely admitted, and that was November 21st. From November 21st till December 31st, that's how long I was in the hospital. So during November 21st till the day of my surgery, we're running tests. I have to tell my story to like 30 different doctors. They have to x-ray every single thing on my body to make sure I'm good for the surgery. They x-ray my big toe, everything, my teeth. So they have a psychiatrist come in and talk to me, and he's asking me questions like, this is why I felt like I was getting interrogated. He was like, are you okay? How do you feel? Do you feel stressed out about this? I'm like, excuse me. I'm telling him like, I'm fine, I feel fine, you know. I'm telling him the surgery, they gotta bring it on because if this is what I have to go through to be with my fiance and son, so be it. So that's a good way to have a good attitude. And they had me do something like, I had to connect dots, I had to do basic math, like what's 9 plus 10, and you know, that type of stuff. And I went through a series of tests, blowing on machines, treadmilling. Let me tell you guys about that. So they had me try this treadmill, they had me do this treadmill thingy, and they was like, let me tell you right now, the machine is gonna beat you. And I'm like, yeah, I got this, I think I'm tough at this point. 8 minutes on the machine jogging, I was out. Like, I told them like I'm gonna pass out. So as they stopped the machine, like, mind you, my brain is still moving and dizzy. So I kind of like just fall back, and it was 2 people holding me, and I'm in a chair like this, just falling out. And the lady's like, no, 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 wake up, wake up. She's clapping all in my ear, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. So like I'm awake, and that was one of the tests that I do remember. So after that, comes December, the day before my surgery. A lot of you guys, and you know, females know of the rapper Juice WRLD. He's my favorite rapper, favorite artist. I was listening to him the whole time I was in the hospital. He was getting me through that. He was my fix for depression at the time that I was going through that. He passed away the day before my surgery. So, you know, surgery, he passed away. At this point, I just like, you know, I'm losing my mind. I had to stay in my neck. So I went through a lot. They had to stick a thing in my neck and give me some fentanyl to keep me together. I was losing my mind. I was like pretty high off some medication, a lot of hospital drugs. But yeah, back to the Juice WRLD thing. That was before Juice WRLD passed away. A lot of drugs. And I was sad. I was crying, whatever. The next day was the day of my surgery. It was the day of my surgery, okay? They telling me, we're probably gonna get you at 6:30 in the morning, 7. I'm like, okay, let's do it. So, I'm smiling throughout this whole thing. I'm telling them, they keep, like, nurses constantly, like, coming to me, like, how do you feel about this? How did this happen to you? So I'm telling them my story, and they're like, oh, I'm sorry. And some good popcorn. Good popcorn. And I'm ready for the surgery. So the day before and the day of, I had a newbie nurse. It was a man. I'm not gonna say his name, but he was, you know, still, I could tell he was a newbie. He didn't know what he was doing, but he still took care of me. So shout out to you. I'm not gonna say your name. Look at that. Ooh. So the day of the surgery, I'm telling him, like, I'm gonna be Iron Man when this is all said and done. Like, I got this, I got this, I got this. And the day of surgery, I'm smiling like this. I'm gonna see if I can post a picture of me smiling like this. And that was the day of surgery. So I go into surgery, they have me sign some papers. Fiance's crying, I give her a kiss, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to do this, you know. Cyborg body. So they put me on the table for surgery. I'm looking at lights, like big, that's all I'm seeing is lights. They put the anesthesia thing on me. They told me to count to 100. I made it to 20 and I was out. Everything happened in like a blink of an eye. When I opened my eyes, the surgery was like the surgery took 4 to 6 hours, I think, but I was asleep after that for 26 hours. So, but to me that felt like a blink of an eye. Close my eyes, wake up, boom. But it was still like I couldn't talk. I had this thing sucked in my mouth. Also, I put a photo of that so you guys can see what I was talking about. I had that in my mouth, so I couldn't talk, and I was getting frustrated because I didn't know I had it in my mouth, you know. So for some reason, I just couldn't talk. So I'm trying to write in my fiance's hand with my finger. In my mind, I'm writing complete sentences, like the best handwriting you can ever think of. In her mind, it's scribble scratch. So I was getting mad. After that, I remember waking up, and the first thing I was thinking about was my tattoos. Like, did they cut my tattoos, or did they, you know? So that was, I know that I shouldn't have been thinking about that at the time, but that's just me. So I'm checking my chest. I see this big cut. I see cuts all throughout my body, scars on my body. I see this cord hanging out the side of my body, and mind you, I have a lot to learn in the next 2 weeks before I get out. The next 2-3 weeks before I get out. It's a lot to learn in a short amount of time. So the ICU process was horrible. I mean, they come bother you every hour. I didn't want to be bothered. They would come take blood. Trying to force me to eat food I didn't want to eat. The food was horrible. It was uncomfortable. That's like 50 cords all in my bed. They teaching me about the LVAD, which is short for left ventricular assist device, and there's a machine on my heart to pump the blood from my heart. That's what that is. So on my TikTok, that's why you guys hear that machine sound, and I didn't know that's what it sounded like until I got home later, but I'll get into that. And like I said, like I remember all the nurses would come talk to me like, what happened to you? What happened? They would spend time with me like, what happened to you? And I'm telling them my story and everything, and they're like, how do you feel about this? Mind you, I'm still awake. I'm still pretty new in the ICU, so I'm not really trying to talk. So at this point, depressed, anxiety, everything is out the roof. And so they're giving me Xanax, Percocet to help me sleep. I did not sleep. I would only sleep like 45 minutes, and it was horrible. And like I said, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't watch TV. The TV is so small and so high. It's like, who can watch that, you know? And countless mornings they would wake me up early, sit me in the chair. The chair is uncomfortable, I know, but you have to do that to get stronger, you know. And I didn't want to do it because it was uncomfortable. I would fall asleep in my chair. People come talking to me and all this stuff. I just wanted to be left alone. And I know that they're just doing their job, but that's just how I was. And I would walk every day. I would walk like 2-3 times a day. And I think that's what got me strong enough to leave the hospital a little early. And my fiance would always come chill with me. Her family would always come see me. They surprised me for Christmas. You know, they bought the baby. Everybody came and see me, so it was dope to see, to be able to have that day. You know what I mean? Tamales, that were tamales. Let me tell you, in the hospital you don't eat tamales, okay? You eat non-salted foods. They came with the tamales. They came with the tamales, and I just chowed down. I went crazy. Green tamales, of course. They had chicken in them, so best. So my family's there, you know. I see my son. I haven't seen my son in a while, so I was happy to see him. The worst part about the Christmas thing, the only part that threw me off was from December 19th till the 25th. They played this same Christmas movie on every channel in a different language. I don't know what the movie is called. I just, at this point, like they was playing Wonder Woman at first, you know, Iron Man, Marvel movies. I was good, you know, but once they start playing that, I just lost it. Portuguese, Spanish, English, Indian, like all in different languages, the same movie, every different channel. So it was either that or a meditation channel. I picked the meditation channel, okay? And after that, they told me like, oh, your class is gonna be. I was originally supposed to leave the hospital a couple weeks after December 31st, but I said, look, I want to take this class a little early. Is there a way I can take it early? I want to go home. So they picked December 31st. The class that I had to learn about my LVAD was 3 hours long. This big, thick book, like a dictionary. They ask you random questions to see if you're listening. They gave me a test. I passed all that, and then it came this thing called exertion. You have to leave the hospital for like an hour. You go get your hair cut, go eat, whatever you want to do, just for an hour to see how you feel. When I went to Buffalo Wild Wings. I know, I'm fat. Oh, I missed. We're gonna try that again until we get it. Second try. So we went to Buffalo Wild Wings, ate, came back, and they had my papers ready to go, and I went home. I never left the hospital that quick. I was pretty fast that day. Went home. It's New Year's Eve. I just went straight to bed. I just went to lay down, and after that, at home, it comes the home visits, the home nurse. They come to take blood at your house. They come to do like physical therapy. They're doing all these things, and I was walking up and down the stairs when they thought I wasn't gonna be walking up and down the stairs. They're telling me I'm doing great. I have all these visits coming up. It's a lot of things you gotta get used to in a short amount of time, and like I said, it was a crazy story, and I was just happy to be home. I wasn't answering no phone calls. My parents would call me, and you know, I was just wanting to be home. My fiance and son, I haven't seen them. I've been in an uncomfortable hospital bed, horrible food, horrible bed, horrible movies. So I just wanted to be home with them at that point, and I did. So I wasn't answering any phone calls, no texts really. And I just stayed home with them the whole time, and you know, the family. And I missed Thanksgiving, yes. So after I say I feel better after about 3 months. It's different for everybody. For me, like 3 months. Started feeling better. Like I said, a lot of doctor visits. You have a lot of visits to go to. A lot. So when I went to those visits, it's LVAD visits, of course. Tell you things you can't do, you can do. And one of the things I can do that I didn't know, I can swim as long as I got this machine. It makes sense now, but at the time it didn't. It's kind of like sitting in a bathtub and somebody throwing a radio that's plugged in inside the tub with you. What will happen? You know, it's pretty common sense. I can't take clothes out the dryer because of the friction. That's a new one. Can't vacuum. They told me not to lift heavy weights, but Cruise Ship 72, he proved them wrong. He still lifts weights. Shout out to him. He is another LVAD patient like me, like good friends now. So there's a lot of things they tell me I can and can't do. Couldn't drive for the first 3 months. Now, you told me to sit in the back seat, not the front seat. And this is why you guys should listen when they tell you something. I got in a car accident like 2 months after my surgery. Mind you, if the airbag explodes, it could kill you. So we went somewhere to get some stuff, and as soon as we leave, boom, somebody hit us. And thank God the airbag didn't go off, but you know, I was in a little pain. We go to the hospital. They check everything, give me a head scan, the x-rays. They give me some morphine, so I was pretty calm, sleepy. After that, I spent maybe 6 hours in the ER, and I went home, and it was the same person that treated me the first 2 times. He was there again. So at this time, I'm thinking it's fate that we just supposed to meet. And my fiance's yelling, you know. You guys met her on the TikTok lives, you guys know. Yelling at me, mad at me, you know, and then again, she was just happy I was okay. So after that, I healed from the scar. I'm able to sit in the front seat now. It was just a long process. And then I found out new things about this thing every day. She was laying on my chest one day and told me, I can hear your machine. So I told myself, let me try with a phone. And I tried with a phone, and you can hear it like super loud. It sounds like a dry washer or a machine or something. So like, that's cool, that's cool. And so to keep up with, like, not be depressed about it, I was always, you know, thinking of myself as a superhero, as Iron Man. But then you know, it's just, I was learning new stuff every day. I still go through visits. I am currently waiting on a heart transplant. It could be years, could be months, could be, it's not going to be days, but it could be months and years, who knows. But I'm currently working on that to get on the heart transplant list. And I'll try to keep you guys updated with that whole thing, that whole story. And unfortunately, that is it for this story time. I hope you guys loved it. If you guys like what you've seen, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. Please make sure to hit that bell button so you get notified when I upload another video. And I will see you guys in the next video. Let me do it one more time for the fun time. Wait, that don't count, Redo. I bet I get it on the third try. Counts.